Evening, hope you're all okay. Can you let me know if you can hear us okay? Or hear the layout? So yeah, we've got just a little bit of a few different things this evening actually. So first thing I'm doing is catching up and doing a bit of running for everyone with different locomotives and wagons like people have asked. So I hope you're doing okay and keeping yourselves occupied as well. Yes, it is a VDA and CCT, and we've also got a VBB on the front as well, so they're often used in parts through the truck train, I believe. So, well, I'm doing a bit of running first. You'll be able to hear me in a bit when we've stopped some of the running. So there's quite a bit to go through actually. So this is my little Class 25. Which is a superb locomotive. I'm just going to be picking up these Acura scale cement wagons. You can see that. You can also see it from this side as well. Colourful stock tonight. Yes, I've got quite a lot of stock actually. A few people just asked for a running session, so. Right. Has it hooked on? Here's the question. This does. You're watching on the 65-inch TV. Wow. So these are the Acura scale PCA cement wagons. They come in packs of 3. While they're moving, let's ooh. So just gonna have a bit of movement on the 153. We're going to be taking the 153 apart later. You can see it's gone in the tunnel, it's disappeared. So now we're going to be bringing the 156 in. This is the real track one. Mine hasn't got sound. Hi Nick. Station up drills. Well, I've got some bad news. This station bit is going. So it was something I came up before I moved at the old house. Central Trains 153. Well, you might want to watch. I'm going to be. We're going to be putting lighting in it later. Let's move this out and then we're going to get the we'll give the Scotsman one last run before it goes to a winner. So thank you for everyone that's entered the competition for the Scotsman, by the way. coming through now. That's no worries. Well, they've all any couplings that have been ordered have all been posted, apart from the ones this weekend, obviously. I thought, hey, we'll have it running backwards for a change. So I know the coaches aren't fully correct. They are Southern coaches. Disappearing down there, and it's going to come back on itself. Unless if I get the point work correct. So yes, the 156 is a nice locomotive actually. So what's everyone been up to this weekend? You've been working on your layouts? Is that a grave in a wagon? Yes. That was actually from Craig. This was actually a Mr. Grimm wagon with a grave. So I thought I'd put it on tonight. That's from Craig at New Durham Junction, that was. So, well spotted. So it's actually a nice bit of kit, that Flying Scotsman. And it works quite well with the hunt couplings as well, as you can see. It's a bit louder with the upgraded speaker too. So, afternoon Human City Junction. That's brilliant. Yeah, doing live is a great way to share your experiences. So, right, so we're going to let the Flying Scotsman off. We'll leave it there for the moment. Right, let's I don't know, let's get a little O3 running, then we'll get some DMUs running. So just having a bit of a running session this evening. Some of the locomotives hadn't had a run for a while. I missed out last week. So this little O3 thing's brilliant. Really good locomotive. So we'll get some more wagons on in a minute. Oh. I didn't clean the track, naughty me. I'll give it a clean later. So, where's Bob? Bob's on the platform actually. Lazy. We've got Bob and Lazy Bob now. Lazy Bob's in the 66, so that'll be coming up in a bit. See, a few of these locomotives need a good run. I've took some out of boxes that haven't been run in a while for a change. We're going to have an all-red train in a minute. So I'm just going to move this forward and I'm also trying to put locomotives on the track while we're here. So please bear with us. How do you do the live stream? Right, I have it's called an Elgato Stream Deck, and then I have obviously multiple cameras. Right, so Loco, let's see if this one works. So I've just got to move this up a little bit. Right, signalman, make sure he does his job. I know these didn't go together, but it's all red. Just to be a bit different. And it's derailed again. It's alright, it's the locomotive. So this is my replacement Hatton 66 and it's still got problems. So, thank you, Marilyn. So I just thought, yeah, stuff it. We'll have a bright red train, Royal Mail with some DB. Class 800. My Class 800's on loan at the minute. We want 128. I've actually two 128s out. Yeah, this is another problem with it as well. It constantly uncouples. The coupling's quite droopy in it. But I'll get some hunt couplings on that anyway soon. If anyone else has got a Hatton 66, yeah. I need to send you a COVID-19 wagon. As long as I ain't got COVID-19 with it. Yeah, the quality control. This is my replacement. The lights don't work one end, and it still derails like mad. I've given up. It's one of those. So, but yeah, no, the Royal Mail coaches are quite nice. They're from Bachmann, actually. I've had these a few years. So Royal Mail letters. So you pick them up quite cheap, I think, now. Nice coaches. Just something to be a bit different. So let's have a look at the front of the layout. We're going to go without sound for a few minutes. Then we'll have a look at thing. Right. So as some of you can see, there was intended to be a station here at West Hill. It was just a small terminus, as you can see here. So please excuse the absolute mess everywhere. The idea was there was two platforms, and in between that, let me pop the other camera on and lift it up. Here we go. So there was some tunnels at the other end. So we've got two tracks one end and one track the other. So I was going to make this automated on the front of the layout, but I've decided to have a bit of a change. So this part of the layout, because it was also left in a garage, it's got a bit damp and some of the wood's warped a bit, so it's going to be going in the bin. So, well, not saying in the bin, but it will be changed a bit. So, but I thought I'd just do a bit of running on it for one last time for you. Hey, 66 from Hornby. Probably be more reliable than the Hattons one I've had. So, I'm going to be having a look at it anyway. I'm going to be taking it apart because I really want to be doing the video on how to get the cabin lights working for those that don't have DCC sound options. Right, so I'm just going to move the 156 away. If I can get it to go the right way. So it's actually a nice model, this, and it really does need some sound to complement it, I believe. But the idea was I just wanted a small terminus with a station and everything else. But I've got a few changes that I wanted to do. So, sorry, I'm just catching up on all your comments. So, has anyone pre-ordered the new 66? I haven't personally, because obviously it doesn't fit, but everyone that has, congratulations in getting one. I believe they did expand how many they were doing. How many are they doing now? Is it 1,000 or 2,000? Or was it 2020, I heard? So, anyway, so this is one of the Parcels DMUs that I have. This is the 128 from Helgem. I've also got another one as well. So you can see this is the one without corridors. Superb locomotive. It's got a lens decoder in. It tends to just work. Now, please ignore some of the track work because I've spilt a bit of glue down here. And the three-way point is an absolute nightmare, even with the frog juices. So I'm going to be getting rid of that. No, some of the railroad ones aren't too bad models at all. So, You can see. Nice lens decoder, runs lovely and smoothly. That will come out of the way. And we'll bring that back into the station. So the idea was that it, let me switch camera. So I need a cameraman as well, you see. So the idea was that we've got tunnels. There's 2 tunnels here, 1 tunnel over there, and trains can just switch in between. So I'm going to bring that back out. So I haven't put point motors or anything like that on it, but like I said, it is going to be going, and I'll explain why shortly. They made 3,000. Wow. I guess there's a high demand for them. Oh, go on. So I haven't put frog juicers or anything on all the points, you see, so it's just running off the electro frog points, and the frogs aren't wide up. So, stunning locomotive. You were able to get these quite cheap actually at one point, weren't you, if I remember rightly? So, and then we've got the there's a blue one which we've got here as well. I'll place on the track. Both of mine are. This one's got corridors. So Loco 129, I think it is. No, it's 128. They're both 128. Let me change the camera. So that's the blue one we can see there. Going into service, and we've got the other one. I've labelled them the same number. So slight missight. So, but probably one of the heaviest locomotives. Competition time for Chris's Old State. Trust me, the wood has got damp. I used MDF. Bad idea. And yeah, maybe that's something I shouldn't have done in all hindsight. So at the time, it seemed a good idea. So we'll just we've got 2 128s closing in on each other. So I'm just gonna have to stop this one. It's what happens when you give them the same number. So yes, it was your birthday yesterday, wasn't it, Marilyn? Congratulations. Yeah, I'm doing well. Actually, thank you very much, Graham. So I'll pop one of these off for the moment, and we'll get into a little bit more running on the layout. So sorry I can't show too much of the 66. Like I said, the Hatton 66 is, oh, another word, it's broken. So we'll send that to the graveyard for the minute. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to bring a few wagons in, and we'll have a bit of running on the actual main layout. So I'm just going to let's have a complete fest. We'll have a few different stuff coming in this evening, just to be a bit different. So I've managed to pull a fair few stock and locomotives out. So won't be one moment. So I need to, well, as soon as this COVID's over, I need to hire a helper for these live streams, don't I? So right, so main line through. So this is a rail freight, can't get my words. Class 26 coming in. So I'm just going to use the 03 to collect these little wagons. You'll see it coming into shot very shortly. So it's a nice locomotive, the Elgin 26s, especially the 27s and 33s. So what we're going to do is just bring these wagons in, we'll put them in the siding for the moment, and we'll grab the other ones out as well. So these are VGA vans. We've got rail freight and the rail freight distribution. So, we're going to pop the 128 and move that. I need more controllers. So there's the 26 out the way. Just going to change the point work to fetch these vans. So Loco 26. We'll bring them in. Yeah, the 14X steam locomotive. I've seen that. How have you got your own? It was stored at the end of a garage, right near a garage door. So it was something I thought, oh, I'm going to reuse. It's not the platforms that are damp; it's the wood underneath. And like I said, this is all plywood, so I just want it right, should we say. So this part of the layout is going to be torn up, so I'll be tearing it up. I don't know, I might do it at the end of the stream. So we'll see what I'm going to do. So just bring this in. Yeah, I love a bit of camera movement, make you all dizzy for a change. So it's coming in, the O3 is just inside here. So the camera's falling over. So I'm just going to drop these wagons off. And the 26 can go on its merry way. So this is another one with Zimmo sound decoder. It's got the speakers actually in the tanks because there's not much room underneath. So let's give it the beams up the main line. Then we'll get the front running again. Do it wrecking time. What am I replaying the station? Well, the station, obviously, many of you know it is an exhibition layout. And what we normally have, it's mainly for the children, we have DMUs and locomotives running backwards and forwards up the front. So, what I've got a hold of, to save me a lot of hassle and having to remember when we're at an exhibition, to move the locomotives, got the ABC braking system. So, can you see me okay? So yeah, we've got the ABC braking system, and so I'm just trying to put it in the camera. There we go. So these are the braking modules from DCC Concepts. You can use these with Locksound and Zimmo decoders, and also lens decoders. There is a couple of others, but I'll be finding out. So I can just get it automated, going backwards and forwards, which is going to save us a bit of a job, you see. So let me change the points and we'll bring these wagons in here. New feature. Definitely is great. So just having a bit of a running. I'm just going to be bringing the 1 to 8 back in, the blue one. One thing it does need, it needs a driver. You start to pick this up more. So we're just going to move these wagons into here. So please bear with me, one of the cameras has decided to have a little play. It's gone black. There we go. Yes, it is the Daco 121 rail track. Oh, I didn't realise. We're doing a Midland Main line. And Fowler systems are great, Graham. Do some cracking work on that. Should be proud to take that to get working right. Does it sound like I'm underwater? Bear with me. Is anyone's audio gone weird? Just bear with me. So can you all hear me okay? I'm sorry if the sound's gone. Yeah, I just had to redo the stream. For some reason it played up. So I do apologise. So I'm not having a good evening this evening yet. It has moments. Sometimes it can be it can go a little temperamental. Anyway, so what we're going to be looking at, just to help with you guys, like I said, I was just doing a bit of running, just for a change for you. I've got a few other bits as well. So, we're getting the Class 153, which doesn't have lights fitted in it. So I'm going to be fitting lights to it, inside. So these will be interior lights. So, right, one of the locomotives you may see is actually on, well, it came for repairs. That's this little Class 08, we've got it with an inspection saloon. I've put some lighting in it, and we fixed it up last week for Chris. So I'll put the button there. Yep, sounds back. So, hi Martin. Audio's quiet. Maybe I've just had a little bit of an issue with it, so just going to be getting. We've got a little gym in there, a little driver in there actually. So, love the inspection saloon. I'll show you in a moment. Actually, I'll show you now what I've done inside it. So what I'm going to do is just going to turn the sound off this locomotive for a moment. So I'll turn that off for a moment, just so you can hear me. Isn't that mad? The sound's still going on this, and it's in my hand. Stay alive, brilliant. Yeah, I'll show you. I'll get it on running. It's all in this little machine. We did it ourselves. Well, it was Alan, our sound guy. And it's still got sound and it's still moving as it's in my hand. So if you've got bad point work, stay alive in these little locomotives. Your sound is definitely a good option. So I'll pop that over there for the moment. Right. So in the inspection saloon, you may be able to see this very well. So we've got some people sat at the table. We've got two inspectors at the front. I don't know what we're going to call them. So they're watching the line, because this was used obviously for testing the line. And then inside we've got some little computers, and we've also got some more people. So there's quite a good bit of workings in there. There is Stay Alive coach lighting in there, which we're coming back to doing in a week or so. So you can see it's on the track with the lights. You can pick it up and it still stays lit for a bit. So if you've got bad track work, stops any flickering. The 080 Stay Alive too? Yes, it is. Are all the camera mics active? No, it's just I have a separate microphone. So let me know if you can hear me okay. So I apologise about the audio issues. Right, so let's get in the 153, and hopefully we're not going to break it this evening. So what we're going to be doing, like I said, yes, it is a little bit sad the station's going to be going, but I've never really used it and it's not really what I want. So you have a change of mind occasionally, don't you? Root stock. Yes, I've added the detail on one end. So, what decoder? It's a Zimo. I can't remember which model it is. It is a Zimo one. And obviously it does have the Stay Alive as an option. So, good at resprays. Have a go yourself, that's the best way. Learn, respray a wagon or something to start with. So, that's the best thing, it's all part of the hobby. If you can learn to do a lot of bits yourself, you'll be amazed what you can actually do. Okay, right, so I'm going to move the Dapol 121 bubble car out of the way. And we're going to switch to the GoPro. I'm just going to have to move you down a bit. Hey. There we go. And I did have a piece of whiteboard somewhere. So you may be able to see a little bit better. Right. Class 153. Stunning locomotive. This one's got a few of the little Chinese people in. I haven't got around to repainting them. But it does have the driver, everything else all fitted in there as well. What I'm going to be doing, we're going to be looking at how to basically put coach lighting in there and run it off the decoder. So you can run it off the track, but the engines overpower your voice. Yes, when I do have the sound locomotives running, they do overpower my voice. So, first and most importantly, without damaging it, we've got our little foam box. Let me switch these, just bear with me, I'm going to switch the camera on to really wide. 1 second. Linear. Wide. There we go. Give it a second. There we go. We've got a wide view now. So, right. So if I remember rightly, the body just pops off this. I don't think there was any screws. So, I'm sure it used to just pop off. I haven't got the instruction manual anymore. I don't know what I did with it. I'm terrible for losing instruction manuals. And I haven't got many thumbnails left. There we go, so I'm slowly just working my way down the body. I'm going to have a look inside and look at how to fit interior lighting. So I'm trying my best to do this on camera. So it's a little bit odd, as you can see. So does anyone else have a 153 or a DMU or something that hasn't got lights? So you can do this not just on a 153, you can do it on any of the DMUs. So if you've got a DCC decoder. There we go, we're getting somewhere. What's wrong with your respray warload? Right. So as you can see inside here, we have the cab, which is up this end, and I'm not going to be putting cab lights in this tonight. I'm just going to be putting the interior lights. Okay. decoder, which has obviously got the standard functions. I'll get rid of this bit of tape. And we've got the interior people. Let me pop my soldering iron on because I'm going to need that shortly. There we go, we're heated up. So, did everyone hear me okay? So I was saying, you need to fix the audio, can you? Audio's gone again. Right, just bear with me. So can everyone hear me now? So I'm sorry if the audio went. So I'll have to have a look into that. I think there's something playing up with my microphone. Audio's gone on holiday again, love that. Is it better? Yep. Right, we're getting somewhere. I'm so sorry about this. We don't normally have this, as many of you know, but obviously something's playing up. I'll have to get the hammer to the computer. Okay, quite nice and simple. As many of you know, I will put a diagram up on this, like I did with the CV settings last week. Simple way of remembering with decoders: red and black to the track, orange and grey to the motor. Okay, the directional, right, your common positive is the blue wire, which should be here somewhere. I'm not going colourblind. So we have a blue wire, which is your common positive. Okay. We have white and yellow, which is for the front and rear lights, so we don't need that. And green is for your function 1 button. Purple, if you have it. This decoder doesn't. This is just a 2-function decoder. You have to have a 3 or 4 function, I believe, for that. So yeah, I'm sorry about the audio, chaps and ladies. Anyway, so what we're going to need to hack into the green wire and also the blue wire. Okay, so nice and simple. The green wire, which is your negative for the light strip, we're just going to chop that off from away from the decoder. The blue wire, we don't want to chop the blue wire, which is your common positive, because that's used for the front and rear lights as well. Okay, so what we're going to do is just gently use my fingernail, if I've got any left, and expose. I don't know if you can see that very well, so just expose some of the wire from the sheathing. You need more pop. I learned a lot when wiring up 33 with lights. Yes, so the general across the board. Okay, so our positive is the blue and our negative is the green. Okay, so what we're going to need, you can get hold of pretty much anywhere, LED strips. So we've got one here. Okay, what we're going to do, we're not just going to stick it in the top of here, because that's going to be a little bit of a issue because we've got this board in the way. So what we've got to do is basically chop it to size, which is the first thing, which about there will be right. You do have little cut marks on these LEDs. I don't know if you can see. And what we're going to do is peel back the sticky for half of it, and then the other half is just, we're going to have to poke underneath. He says. Don't cut the blue wire. No, don't cut the blue wire. No, we've had a few audio issues. Sorry about that. So I'll get it sorted. I do apologise. It might be this GoPro camera playing up. So, like I said, the hammer will fix it. Okay. Right, so I've got some wire. Tell you what, I'll colour code it for you. Where's I had some black somewhere as well. So we'll have red and black, so it's easy for you to determine. So what we're going to do is get some of the black wire. We don't need much. It's real fine wire. This is from Expo Tools You can get it for about £2.50 a box. So you get quite a lot of wire. Highly recommend just having a stash of different wire and tools to one side as always. So we've got the black wire. And I'm just going to unravel the red wire, hopefully. So you don't have to colour code it, but I was just doing it here for you, which will be a bit easier. Okay, so black wire, red wire. Next thing we want to do, on the end of the LED strip, let's grab our soldering iron. Keep it above 50 mile an hour or below. Peter spares cheaper. Yeah, different ones. Like I said, they're all different manufacturers. It depends on your model shop, but they're not expensive for the wire. So I'm just going to tin the couple of contacts on the end there. So do that first, as you can see. Then what we're going to do is put the soldering iron down, hopefully not set fire to the layout. Strip a tiny bit off the end of the black wire and a tiny bit off the red wire, and then bang. So you will see a positive and a negative on the end of here. So positives on the right, negatives on the left. So we'll go with positive with red. So don't worry, we're not wiring a bomb up here. Alright, most useful friend when soldering, Blu Tack, by far. I've done this the wrong way really. So, red wire, heat the solder, heat onto it, let it cool for a second, it'll flow. So black wire, we don't want a bit too much on the end of that, so twist the ends together. Solder it onto there. Hey presto! Okay, so the blue wire is your common positive, so we want the red going to the blue. Okay, I've done this a bit long here, but it's better having more than less. Don't electrocute yourself. Don't worry, I've done that plenty of times. Leftover 8-core cable. Cracking idea, Matt. It's not like pork crackling. So what we're going to do, we're just going to splice this into here. Don't do this with your locomotive powered on the track. Please, I don't want you sending me messages. Just blow me locomotive. I had it on the track. Don't do it while it's on the track. So, sorry, I have run out of heat shrink. So you can see I've just heated the wire, touching the solder to it. Let it flow nicely. So I've got a little bit of Kapton tape, electrical heat conductive tape, which is good stuff. So you can pick it up on just like insulating tape, but obviously it is heat resistant as well. So we're just going to wrap that around the blue wire. So that's insulating, we're not going to get that shorting on there. Now, next one we want, it is like wiring up a little bomb or something, isn't it, with these? So green wire, pull the end off. So shorten the black a bit, it's a little bit long. Too complicated. Yes, it is. So your green wire is taken straight off the decoder, from your, not decoder, so straight from your decoder, but chop it off from the 8-pin plug. So as you can see, the 8-pin plug here, it has just been taken off there. The blue wire is attached into it. Okay, so I'm just going to get the black wire and the green wire and connect those together. Sorry, I could have done green all the way to the lighting strip and blue, but I haven't got them colours of wire left. So I'm just going to twist them together. Okay, so We are going to put a resistor on this shortly, because I believe it's going to be too bright, but we're going to test it first. So, but we may have to put a resistor, which you can get a 1K resistor. I'll be showing you that shortly. So if we let that cool, just a bit of insulation around it. Like the blue touch paper and Stanwell bag. So, it's quite easy. Yeah, manufacturers miss things and little things on locomotives, but it's quite easy just to do little things yourself. What's this? A little bit of wire and a bit of LED strip. Probably, I don't know what, 50p's worth of components. Right, here's the bit where we have to stand back and hopefully it doesn't go bang. If I've done this wrong, it's always a bit more skeptical doing it live stream. So right, Loco 153 on my decoder. Yep, we're working. So function 0. Yep, the main lights are working. There we go, function 1. So function 1 off, function 1 on. Oh, let me stop it. So you can see with function 1, these are a little bit bright, as you can see. So we're going to tone them down in a second. So, but with function 1 on, lights come on, lights off. So we're going to... Sorry, I'm just catching up. I use 1K resistors. Yes, that's correct. 1K resistors are correct. I'm going to be doing that in a second. The main thing is I wanted to make sure it worked. It's a bit embarrassing when you do so. I do quite a lot of stuff on live streams and it's always worrying in case it doesn't. Okay. Right, so what I'm going to be doing, it can be on the positive or the negative line. It doesn't matter. So I'm just going to unsolder these, and then we've got a 1K resistor here, which is gold, red, black and brown. That's, you can see, gold, red, black and brown. That's a 1K resistor. And then we're just going to tone it down a little bit, should we say. So I'm just undoing, I'll tell you what, I'll chop it, it'll be easier. So the green and black wire, I'm just going to put the resistor between them two. This is where I don't know where I've put mine, but a third hand comes helpful. So yeah, you can just add more resistors, so you can put two 1K resistors. I don't want it too dull, so, but you can do this on. There's a lot of DMUs out there that don't have lighting, and so what I'm going to do is just wrap the wire around it. So, like I said, a third hand is definitely helpful with this. If you haven't got a third hand, ask your wife. But mine's in the house, and there's a bit of blue tack. Sorry, I'm just finding this. It's a bit hard when you're doing it around the camera. So, but I just want to get it together and show you what it looks like. There we go. Whatever you do, don't solder black tack or blue tack. It stinks. Okay, so I'm just going to twist the other wire and put that on the other side. Bloody colour coding. Hey, it's better than it having little numbers on the wires. or having it like some of the old Cat 5 stuff used to be. It used to be years ago when it was, I think it was Cat 3. It used to be Morse code. So it was like ... So, right. So blow this up. So, not blow it up, lift it up. So there we go. So I'm just going to chop off the excess, and I just chopped off the wire. See what happens when you go live. I meant to chop the excess, and I chopped the wire. So you always have some little gremlins or something when you do live. Well, this, yes, it would be the Batman one as centre coach. This is if you're doing it to a decoder. You can just install coach lighting. I can show you how to install coach lighting if you wish on coaches. I can do that in a moment. The other thing, That's hot. Right, slip off the excess without snipping my finger off. And a little bit of tape. That's probably a bit too much tape there. That'll be right. Okay. So now if we put it on the track, we should have, so if we press function 1, so you can see that's quite a bit more dim. So it's not as bright, which is just perfect. So it's giving a bit of light, but not too much. Okay. So, the thing with these, there isn't much room. So we've got a couple of options. Right, first thing I'm going to do is just tape the decoder in place, so it doesn't move about as much. So I'll just pop a bit of tape over there for the moment. Next thing we're going to do is we've got to get this light strip throughout the coach, but we've got this board in the way. Okay, so what we're going to do is, I may use a glue gun here, and what I may do is attach it onto the top here and glue it on. So as you can see on this right corridor, a lot of DMUs you can just stick it up in the top of the corridor and done. But because this has got this jocking PCB all the way across, last thing we want to be doing is seeing the underside. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to, for my purpose, I'm just going to unscrew this PCB, just so I can get to the underside. It's Kapton tape, it's called. It's electric conductive tape. So it's brilliant, really nice and thin, good stuff. So if something heats up, it doesn't thingy. Those pink things. Yes, heat shrink, like I said, I haven't got any heat shrink on me, Chris. Run out. So it's not something that's been on my shopping list, I'm afraid. Right, how's this stuck on? Oh, they've glued it. Typical Hornby. There we go. Okay, so what we're going to want to do, I want the coach lighting to go right the way across, and we're just going to stick it onto the underside of that board, and then I'm going to use a piece of plastic card in a second, because you don't want it drooping down so you can see it. Okay, so first thing I'm going to be doing is just attaching it to where's right. So I'm just getting my bearings here. So if that's there, yep, perfect. So it's double-sided sticky, but do not rely on it because it doesn't last forever, the double-sided stickiness. So what I'm going to do, got my favourite tool. So this is my portable glue gun. Yeah, you can do that if you wish. So 1mm plastic card. I'm just going to be doing it from there to the end. So let me find a ruler. Bear with me. So if you've got some plastic card strip, I think come fully prepared for this. So I've got some plastic card here. So I've just got to take a strip of it off. So bear with me. I'm taking my time. I want to freehand it because I don't know where I put my ruler. So I'm just using some of the plastic card it's rested on. There we go. So you see, that's what I was going to do. I'm going to glue that onto the end of there and that to there, so it's just holding it up. But the first thing I'm going to be doing is just popping a bit of glue over this on the board because it won't stay there otherwise. Just waiting for my glue gun to finish heating up. Oh, there we go. So what I'm going to do, just a couple of strips of hot glue, very fine, just across, just to make sure this thing stays in place. Don't rely on the sticky stuff because it doesn't last. And then what we're going to be doing is, like I said, a bit of strap plastic card from this end here to the end of the coach, and then we should be able to glue that into place. So I'm just going to stick this straight onto the strip like so, glue that in and glue that into that side. Okay, let me put the screws back. So evening Ian. So Chris loves this glue gun. Yes I do. Glue guns fix everything. Honestly, name something that can't be fixed by a glue gun. Nah, I know they don't have some uses, but a lot of the time they are quite useful as an instant glue. So if you're sitting there waiting for super glue to dry, sometimes it can get a bit tedious and things don't stay where they should be. So, excellent. I do apologise, it's not obviously polished as a normal video, we are live. So, any problems I come across, you may come across too. Okay. Right, so what we want to be doing is just, first thing, getting this in line. So I'm going to pop a little bit of glue under there, because Hornby decided to super glue it on. So we'll just wait for that to dry a little bit. Hot glue is my best friend in the hobby, yes it is. Duct tape in my time in the RAF, that's brilliant. So, what we're going to be doing is just using the piece of plastic card just to prevent it sagging inside. So, didn't do it quite long enough, but that's not an issue. So I'm just trying to clip it in the end here. So if I can wedge it in, I can get the glue to it a bit better. So I'm sorry for interrupting your Sunday night television. I couldn't make it yesterday because I was a bit tied up sorting things out. So I'm just going to be using the glue gun, yet again, to attach it to the board. And I'm going to be using glue gun on this side and just hold it together. Come on, stay you bugger. One thing with glue guns, if you're not careful, there's string everywhere. But don't try and pick it off until it's dry. So it's not fully dry yet. I think it's slightly too warm in here. Right, let's get the excess off. Let's pop the body on. Let's see what it looks like. Spender? What's that? Never seen it. F1 on the box as always. No, my wife's well, she convinced me into getting Netflix for her, so she's happy with that. Okay, so like I said, now's the perfect time to pop any figures in. I have a couple in here already. Let's pop this back together. So like I said, I've not made it too bright because otherwise it looks a bit silly. It's like an luminous coach. I'm just going to try and clip this back together, and I'm hoping we should have DCC controlled lights on our DMU. So there we go. Right, so they're not too bright, but let's switch cameras so you can get a better view. Well, not that view. Okay, I'm hoping. There we go, function 1. So as I press on here, function 1 on the decoder, it turns it on, turns it off. we have interior lights in our Class 153. Doesn't that look a bit better? So, nice simple fix. Took me a bit longer because we had some audio interruptions. And, what was it explained to you lot? So, live today. Yes, I'll definitely have a look at that. Obviously, Anfield. It's stringy like yoo-hoo. Yoo-hoo! Wait. So, nice simple fix. 50p's worth of stuff. A little bit of wire, a little bit of LED strip. So your decoders do output 12 volts. So don't just put a normal. Well, I'll get one for you to show you. Don't just put a normal LED to it like this, because it will just go puff. So these are 12 volt strips. Decoders output 12 volt. We have coach lighting. Hey, there's one improvement. Bro, box it back up and send it back here. So, if anyone's got any questions on it, it's just a small tip of the week. Like I said, perfect time to get all your passengers in there. While you've got your passengers in there, don't forget maybe your guard or ticket conductor that could be standing in the alleyway taking the tickets. So, what end is the PCB at? The PCB's at this end here. So you see it is dark. It's because it's got the motor bogey. It's the limitations of the Hornby model. So what I will do, I've done this on live stream before, is put cab lights in it. They'll be off function 2. I've just got to get a better decoder for it. So I'll pick a lens decoder up, as many of you know is my favourite. So, yes, they do. Not all decoders. Personally, it can turn into a bit of a nightmare, and then if you have a short, it resets it. I'm old-fashioned. I prefer to do it where it works. It's hardwired. But yes, you can dim off decoders. Can we see it in the dark? Okay, I'll turn the lights off. So, I've got one of the lights on. Let me reverse it. Oh. There we go. So you asked for it in the dark. There's a Class 153 in the dark. Tell you what, the layout does look a bit better in the dark. I'll have a, I'll put the, what you can see. Woo. So, nice simple tip. Like I said, Amazon is a great source for LED strips at the moment. Just due to postage is not great on some things like eBay and stuff. Some sellers aren't working. Amazon I found personally. So I'll put the lights back on. Ooh, blinding me now. So nice little improvement to our Class 153. Oh, it's really gone wide, the camera. You can see everything now. So it probably looks a bit distorted as well. So if anyone's got any other questions, just drop us a message. Obviously I'll help you where possible. So all you need is an LED strip and a 1K resistor. If you may have some flying about already with models and kits. So like I said, it's brown, black, red and gold on the little resistor. So they are colour coded, and they're your 1K resistors to dim it down. Can you use LEDs with a resistor for 12 volt? Fair enough. Yes, they are 12 volt LEDs. So LED strip. So there's a lot of bleed. Yes, I do partially agree. Welcome to Hornby models. You'll see the Class 800 cab. It's terrible. So anyway, so that's our little tip thing for the week for you, and you may be able to improve your little DMUs. Okay, I best clear up a little bit now, aren't I? Okay, so wish to say, obviously, for those of you that haven't already entered, we do have the competition for the Flying Scotsman on. You'll be able to see it running in the background. So this is the Hornby TTS Flying Scotsman. So we've put an upgraded speaker in it. and I'll just pop the video on again for you now. So, right, just wish to say, obviously, a thank you to everyone that's entered. Now, I'm catching up. To enter for the Scotsman, there is a separate video. You have to put your comments in on the separate video on our YouTube channel. So I'm just going to catch up with everyone's comments. Right, Owens Model Railways. Slightly off topic, does fitting passengers void warranties? No, I don't believe it does, but you can check, but I don't see that being an issue. Obviously, if you dunk it in a bottle of water, then yes, maybe. 1K resistors on 12 volt. Yes, so these are 12 volt LED strips that I get. So you can get just like 12 volt LED strip on Amazon. You can get a reel of it for about £7-8. An absolute big long reel. So, do you like the couplings? Thank you, Hardcore. Yes, the Hunt couplings are doing well. Sorry, like I said, the stream's delayed. I've had a few personal things going on, as well as doing a lot of work at Hunt couplings, to say the least. We've got a lot coming. So, obviously, I just wish to say, yeah, thank you. So, if you have any questions or anything like that on fitting the obviously the interior lighting or anything, just drop us a message on Facebook. We'll help where possible. And what we've got to do, well, it's a bit of a tip now, so it's actually next week. So we're going to say goodbye to the extension here. So it was an idea I had. I'm not going to pursue with it because I am going to be doing a layout the other side of the room. So there's going to be a 10 foot by just over a foot wide additional layout. It is going to be a DMU station park, hence the reason why I have been picking up several DMUs, the 156, the 158, obviously the 153, I've got the 108s. I'm a big regional railways fan. I just wish someone would bring a regional railways pacer out. No, thank you, Tim. Thank you for subscribing. Like I said, we're here, we do it because we enjoy it and have a bit of fun. So it is going to be the end for the station part, and it is going to be torn up. So I am going to be automating the front of the layout backwards and forwards. So this point and everything's going to be all ripped out and all of this. So we're going to be using these braking modules. These are from DCC Concepts. I'm also going to be looking at the lens version. Now you don't need to use DCC Concepts decoder to use these. Obviously you can get them included in a pack, but you don't need to go out and change all your decoders just to be using an automated braking. So all it's going to do is mean on the front of the layout, because when we're at exhibitions we use the front, especially for little ones. So a train with sound comes out, stops for a bit, goes back, and then comes back again. But it keeps the little ones amused. So get the sledgehammer out. So I'm going to be tearing it up. The only thing is though, I can't just rip it up right now because I've got yeah, I've got all my laptop and everything's resting on it to read your comments. So that's our little. We've got one of the little figures there. So no, he's just jumping for joy. So if there's anything you do want to see on next week's stream, we are going to be focusing on we've got coach lighting kits coming out. I've got all the stuff sorted for those, so we're going to be focusing on that. But like I said, we've looked at that today. We've got interior lighting in it, so it's going to be a good benefit for obviously some maybe. And if there's anything at all, literally just drop us a message and I'll catch you next week. Future plans for the layout for exhibition. Right, exhibition wise we are, where are we? Severn Valley was a hopeful one this year, but that's due to COVID, I can't really say at the moment. We are down for Whalley next year. We are down for Whalley next year with the layout, so that's a bit of an insight, so you can come and say hi. So not this year, that's next year, we're down for Whalley. We are also, depends if Whalley's what's happening and going ahead. I do hope so, and I hope the whole country gets back to normal and everyone keeps safe. It's not nice seeing some of the statistics, but this COVID's been a bit of a changer for everyone. I'm sure things will change, but hopefully Whalley goes ahead this year, and if anyone is going to Whalley, I will see you there. So yeah, demolition. All this is going to be going at the front. I've just not been happy with it. Half the time I've been using it as a camera shelf, so I've been popping cameras on here when doing the live streams. Need to use it more. Get Mr. Grimm on platform 3. Okay, I'll put a Mr. Grimm wagon there for you, Craig. As you can see, it's not very level either. It moves a little bit. So that's Craig's Mr. Grimm wagon that he sent us. So yes, the lighting kits. I am catching up, Richard. So we're going on thing. Carry on regardless. So if there is anything you do need or any questions, just drop us a question. Thank you for watching this evening. Like I said, just adding lighting on your interior DMUs, nice, easy and simple. So I'm going to catch you about, and keep an eye out on our Facebook page. We have a few announcements, especially with the Hunt couplings. A bit difficult, I do understand. It is Nightingale Hospital. I don't know if it's being used though, actually, Les. So it only took a week to put up or something, so it'll probably take a week to put down. I'm on DC and using single LEDs for directional lights. I have to put one. Yes, you do. Don't just put, if you've got a normal LED, not the LED strips. If you've got a diode LED, I had one earlier, I put it down. Don't just wire it to the track or it will just go puff. So farewell everyone. I'm going to head off, and everyone take care. And anything at all, just drop us a message. Thank you.